Resident Evil. Though the game didn't create survival horror, it did put it into the gaming mainstream and has since dominated the genre for the last 25 years. In this video, I take a look back at the very first game that started it all, to look for as many Easter eggs, secrets, references, or points of interest that even after nearly 3 decades you might have missed. And if you enjoy this video, you can show your support by liking, sharing and subscribing, that way you can stay up to date on all future videos like this one. Now it's time to head to the Spencer Mansion. Starting out with the game title itself, the Japanese name for the game franchise is Biohazard, and was renamed by Capcom US because of trademark issues, as other brands had claimed the name for themselves, including a music band. So Resident Evil was chosen as the Western title, and the rest was history. In the original Japanese version, the live intro cutscene was uncensored and in colour. The Western release censored the gory scenes of Joseph Frost finding the severed hand of his comrade and the dogs tearing him apart. The gory details were not the only thing that the Western releases censored. The cast intro of Chris Redfield originally had him lighting up a cigarette and smoking it, only to be changed to what you see here. After hearing the gunshot from the main hall and sent to investigate, you can go off script by heading back to Wesker to see another cutscene. As Jill, you can repeat this a couple of times to trigger a response from Barry, and an attack from a zombie to see another rare cutscene. In the Japanese original, during the first encounter with a zombie, Kenneth's head rolls to the floor, while the Western version cuts this out completely. If the zombie attack in the dining room was dealt with by the clock, then you would have to return to the main hall. However, if you do then go to the body of Kenneth, you will see that his legs have been chewed off. Not only are his legs gone, but the 2 Beretta clips are no longer there to pick up. If you try to leave the mansion by the main doors, you'll get a cutscene where a dog tries to attack you. It's a nice reminder to the player that they really are trapped and cut off from any help from the outside world, and builds more tension to the situation. In addition to the variety of enemy types, are the assigned codenames given to the BOWs by Umbrella, and are appropriate. Take this case. The name classification for the zombie dogs is Cerberus, who is a 3-headed hellhound that guards the gates of Hades in the underworld in Greek mythology. Resident Evil is influenced by many horror films. RE creator Shinji Mikami stated that films like Dawn of the Dead inspired the creation of a zombie-infested mansion. Typewriters. Used as a saving point, it could be based on The Shining, where Jack Nicholson's character slowly goes crazy during his time in an old and isolated hotel working off of a typewriter. The music Jill and Rebecca play is the popular Moonlight Sonata, which could have been taken from Psycho 2, where Norman Bates is heard playing Moonlight Sonata on a piano. Another possible film reference happens when the crows attack the player. After pressing the buttons below the paintings in the wrong order or shooting a weapon to startle them, it could be a homage to the Alfred Hitchcock movie The Birds, which is about a swarm of crows that attack people in an American town. On Advanced mode in the Director's Cut, there are a few interesting changes, like the new camera angles, and items and monsters have been rearranged, But there is one interesting addition. In certain areas, you can fire bullet holes into the camera. A rare death animation can occur during the boss fight with the giant snake, codenamed Yawn, whereby it can swallow up the main character whole when their lives reaches red danger. The flooded basement of the guardhouse has a unique encounter with the sharks that are introduced from its perspective, similar to the POV shots from the film Jaws. Another appropriate name assigned to the sharks is the codename Neptune, named after the Roman mythological god of the sea. Another possible film influence for the boss battle against Plant 42 may be from Little Shop of Horrors, which is about a plant that grows and feeds on blood and people. The introduction of the Hunters is from a speedy POV that is inspired by The Evil Dead, where similar POVs occur from the demon's perspective. In the underground lab, you'll encounter a new creature codenamed Chimera, which is taken from Greek mythology to represent a hybrid creature of different species that are fused together, which is a fitting name for this half-human, half-fly monster. Incidentally, another possible horror film reference for this creature is the 1986 movie The Fly, where a scientist slowly turns into a fly monster after a lab accident. Another scene was changed for the Western version, where Chris, in his original bad ending, lights a cigarette and smokes it. Now, he just wipes away sweat from his forehead. Which do you think is better? Speaking of endings, not a single outcome is actually canon, as the best possible outcome, either as Jill or Chris, has 3 survivors in the helicopter and Brad Vickers, who's the helicopter pilot. But Jill, Chris, Barry, Rebecca, Brad, and even Wesker all survived the incident. Hey everyone, if you've made it to the end, then thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't yet, please show your support by subscribing, liking and sharing so you can stay up to date with future videos like this one. I will be doing Tomb Raider 3 and plenty more survival horror vids, so watch out for them. So until the next vid, bye guys.